everyone, and welcome back to the channel. We've got some major updates in the Newjeans versus ADOR case, and things are getting even messier. As of April 16th, the Seoul Central District Court's Division 50 has officially dismissed Newjeans' appeal against the injunction granted to ADOR. So let's rewind a bit, just in case you need a refresher. ADOR had previously been granted an injunction by the court that basically restricted the Newjeans members from doing any activities without ADOR's direct involvement and approval. This meant that even if an individual member wanted to appear on a show, release music, or take part in a personal project, they couldn't move forward without getting the green light from ADOR. Naturally, this didn't sit well with the group. Newjeans and their legal team ended up filing an appeal against that injunction, arguing that the decision was unfair and that the relationship between ADOR and the members had already been seriously damaged. They repeatedly emphasized that the trust between Newjeans and ADOR had been broken, and from their perspective, being forced to continue working under ADOR's control wasn't just unreasonable, it was borderline harmful. But unfortunately for Newjeans, the court wasn't buying it. Their appeal has now been legally dismissed, meaning the original injunction stands, and the members are still legally bound to ADOR for now. Now, here's the thing, I can't say I'm shocked by this outcome. If we're being real, up until now, no concrete evidence has been presented to support Newjeans' claims, especially when it comes to proving how ADOR violated their trust or caused them harm. It's one thing to say a relationship has broken down, but in court, you need hard proof. And as much as people want to root for Newjeans, the courts need things to be facts, not feelings. What really confused me, though, was when Newjeans' legal team reportedly reached out to fans, yes, actual fans, to help gather evidence. Like, how was that even supposed to work? What kind of evidence were fans expected to provide that a legal team with actual access to contracts and internal communication couldn't? That whole move just felt strange and kind of desperate. If I'm being honest, it definitely didn't help their credibility in the eyes of the court. So as it stands, Newjeans remains tied to ADOR and has to comply with the restrictions from the injunction. Newjeans have also reportedly requested for their next trial to be held privately, meaning no public access will be allowed inside the courtroom. Now, why would they do that? In my opinion, it's pretty telling. If you're confident in your case and you believe the truth is on your side, wouldn't you want the public to see it all unfold? To me, it seems like Newjeans and their legal team know that public opinion isn't in their favor right now, like how it was before. And before anyone tries to twist it, no, the public isn't turning on Newjeans because they're young, or because they're women, or because they want independence. That's not it at all. The real reason so many people are skeptical and frustrated with them is because of a pattern of behavior that just keeps getting worse. Let's break it down. They've changed their stories multiple times, confusing everything. They've made serious allegations without providing hard evidence. There's been misinformation, like that situation with Hani and Illit, which, yes, we are going to talk about again. So let's go over that one more time. Hani claimed that illit ignored her, even going as far as giving a specific date, which was May 27th when it happened. But plot twist, on the date she mentioned, illit wasn't even in Korea, literally. Then HYBE came in with CCTV footage from around that same time, showing illit bowing to Newjeans at a full 90 degrees. Their manager didn't even speak, even though Hani had said she was told to ignore them. Like, what are we even doing here? At this point, it's not just a messy court case, it's turning into a credibility issue. And I know some fans are going to jump in the comments and say, leave them alone, or you're spreading hate. But let me be clear, this isn't hate, it's questioning inconsistencies. There's a big difference. Now let's talk about the bigger picture. Back when HYBE conducted their audit into Min Hee-jin, and this was a whole year ago by the way, they outlined a detailed accusation that Min was allegedly planning to take over ADOR illegally. That audit even claimed she was going to intentionally damage the reputations of other HYBE artists to achieve that goal. So, call me a conspiracy theorist, but what if this entire illit versus Newjeans drama was part of that plan? Like, what if creating friction and stirring controversy around illit was a strategy to make them look bad and elevate Newjeans in comparison? That's not proven, obviously. It's just a theory, but one that kind of makes sense when you line up the events. If HYBE saw this coming a year ago, maybe they knew a lot more than they let on. So, with all that in mind, how does Newjeans expect to win this trial with no solid evidence, a damaged public image, and court records full of conflicting statements? Moving to private hearings just makes it look like they want to be more in control of what the public hears. And honestly, that's not a good look. Now, with all that said, let me be crystal clear about one thing. I will not tolerate malicious comments on this channel. You're totally allowed to share your thoughts, agree, or disagree with me. and even defend Newjeans if you feel strongly about it. That's what this community is for. Respectful discussion. But if I see any hateful or violent comments, especially directed at the girls or any other person, I will delete them. Criticism is fine, hate is not. Before we wrap things up, there's one more thing I really wanted to talk about, and it's based on a comment I saw that honestly hit the nail on the head. Someone said, if they wanted to leave so badly, they can just pay the penalty and go. And you know what? That's so real. That one sentence basically sums up this entire mess. Yes, there would definitely be a penalty, and yes, what Newjeans did, leaving ADOR for breaking trust and not being able to even prove it, was questionable at best. But at the end of the day, if they truly want out that badly, why not just pay the fine and move on? That would have saved so much time, energy, and drama. But instead, plot twist, Newjeans' legal team is appealing the dismissal of their objection. Let's break that down real quick. Remember how the court already dismissed their objection to the injunction granted to ADOR? Well, apparently, they're now taking that dismissal to a higher court. Yes, they're appealing the appeal. I didn't even know that was a thing. But here we are, and honestly, I don't think they're going to get very far unless they bring something new to the table. Because let's be real, if they walk into that courtroom again with no new arguments, no solid proof, and no explanation for their contradictions, the higher court will probably just reject or dismiss them too. And at that point, what's even the point? Now, don't get me wrong, they absolutely have the legal right to appeal. If they've got the resources and they believe strongly in their position, then sure, go for it. But from an outsider's perspective, this is starting to look more like damage control than a real legal strategy. If it were me, I'd probably just pay the penalty, cut ties officially, and walk away with at least some dignity intact. But hey, that's just my opinion. So what do you all think? Do you agree with the comment? Should they just pay the penalty and move on? Or do you think they're right to keep appealing this decision and taking it all the way? And don't forget, my full series called Entire Newjeans Drama Explained is coming out near the end of April, and trust me, it's going to break down every twist, turn, and receipt you need to see. So if you're following this saga, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single episode of my series and updates. Thanks for watching, and as always, bye for now.
Illit in the future.